Good morning. We're drying corn. We're going to shell corn. We're gonna have another great day. Let's do it. Getting the equipment fueled up and ready to go. This thing, man, I tell you what, super handy. The tractor hasn't been back to the farm for a while because we just kind of take that from field to field. So the last time we took the combine back, because I knew I needed fuel, we left the tractor sit in the field that night and then just brought it straight here yesterday morning and didn't go back for fuel. And then we're going to the next fields from here. So we fueled up both the combine and the tractor and we'll be good to go for the day. Starting the day off in the grain cart here, but probably only going to make a round or two before Brock gets here, and then Dad's going to go work on some other stuff, do some tillage, and we'll jump into combine. So we've got, I think, 25 acres or so to finish up in this field before we jump down the road there a little bit farther. Well, that was fast. Brock's here. He came with Phil in that second truck. We blew a fuse on the fuel trailer. I'm not sure how exactly we blew a fuse, but the fuse for the DEF pump was blown, so we couldn't get the DEF in there. Phil had some in the truck, so he brought one, and they're gonna top that off now. I know everything's happening super fast, so it's a little hard to tell, but our corn head seems to be doing a really good job. Most of the trash is going down through it. I don't see a lot of kernels flying around, a few, but I see a lot of big clean ears coming in, and those are impressive ears. Like this is pretty impressive corn here. Farming, catching up on my YouTube videos. I'm way behind in the guys that I watch. Little bit of uneven ground here. We're all right. This field's got, it's not really hilly, but like we're on a hilltop here and we kind of drop down, and then there's just some, they're not really gullies, they're just kind of ravines, I guess I would call them, or little low spots that things get a little pitchy sometimes. But the auger on this combine is so much taller than our old combines were. We don't really need to worry about it hitting too much, or it's never really been an issue. So you just kind of keep an eye on things when you're going in that super uneven ground. But we're down to what are we down to? Field totals, 13 acres to go here. 50 acres done. Field average is up to 198. We might make it to 200 before we're done here. I don't know, we'll see. Oh, that's a fancy tractor. I wonder what the tanks are for. Big ripper. Anyway, we're about done here. Got another, what do we got? 2 rounds to do yet. We broke our 200. That's good. That's good. Brock is filling our auto luber, which is a good thing, but we're literally on the last pass. Like, you gotta go, bud. You could wait until the next, this round is over, and then we're moving fields, and then grease the cart. But that's all right. Good job. We'll get some more in there. Well, that's another big field done. There's 95 acres here, or close to it, between these two fields that we did yesterday and today. That's a good one to have knocked off. So we're gonna head down the road. We've got a 45 acre piece and a 78 acre piece across the creek from each other. So should be pretty good corn down there. They're good farms. It's one of our better varieties, that 11V, and I'm excited to see how good it is. You guys remember that video a couple of weeks ago where I told you to lower your expectations? Be good advice to follow right now. I'm setting myself up for disappointment, expecting big things. It should be good. Well, you can definitely see there's a different variety of this first pass here. Much different color of the corn and the stuff along the road there. So we've got these electric poles. They're kind of a pain in the butt. So this pass was the first one that I planted, and then I kind of patched in along the road. And we've got an extra set of end rows, or half a set of end rows here, basically. So probably what I was planting a different variety or a different field that had a different variety in the boxes changed when we came to this field, which was what was, you know, what's most of the field, but there was a little bit in each row unit that kind of had to work through. Am I in the right spot? It says I'm in the right spot. I appear to be off a row. Yeah, what?
Main bolt on auger pivot snap.
Alright, well, we got enough room opened up here we can at least get some equipment off the road, grain cart and trucks. However, we are having some major grain cart issues. It sounds like, I don't know, Brock says we broke a bolt, something on the auger, pivot, fold, something, I'm not sure. But I see a pickup here, I think Dad's here. So I'm gonna have him run me down there and we'll go figure out what we gotta do to fix that. Yeah. That bolt's not supposed to be in two pieces. So those are the pivot bolts that the whole auger kind of folds on. It's kind of a arm lever mechanism there. There's no nuts on the inside of them, so essentially this is threaded. There is a set screw here that holds it in. So we've got to get an Allen wrench, get that out, and then get the broken bolt off out of there. It would be easier if this would get out of the way, in which case we might have to take that side off, and then we put a new bolt in. Not a big deal, just gonna take a little bit of time and finding a bolt. So yeah. Cue all of you saying this is why you should just leave the auger out all the time and not fold it. Yeah, screw you.
It's a lot cheaper than a broken auger.
That's exactly right. All right, we got some tools and a ladder. We got to get that piece out from in there. So I started to drill it a little bit. We're taking the bolt out of the other side so that this here will pivot out of the way and allow us to get in there a little bit easier. Hold on. Why'd that get so hard all of a sudden?
Well, probably because the set screw, where the set screw went into it, if I damaged the nuts a little bit.
Okay, well there's no tension on this piece, is there? I mean, it's not like something's binding that's going to give way.
No, I took it off.
Okay. Huh? You took what off the hydraulic cylinder?
When you put pressure on the hydraulic cylinder and push it out, it pushes that top bar down, which pulls this back.
Okay. Yeah, you just released the pressure.
Yeah.
Okay, well, you didn't tell me that, did you? Okay, I just want to make sure nothing's going to fly around when you get that bolt out, because it got real hard real fast. All right, get that out of there. Well, I was able to drill in there quite a ways. I drilled off set so I had something to pound on. I was able to get it to spin some with just a punch, but I think the set screw lured up the threads enough that it's going to turn out hard. So we're going to get an easy out in there, but we're going to use a big one, so we're going to drill a much bigger hole than that. Okay, we got her. We got her. Dad went to go run to the hardware store to see if he could find another one, because when we took the bolt out of the other side, it is not 7 inches long like the parts diagram that I found said. I must have found the wrong parts diagram. So he went to the hardware store to see if he could find one real quick, and if not, we'll have to come up with a bunch of spacers. Oh, he's calling me right now. Testing. Fixed, temporarily, but fixed. Okay, we made it back to the combine. That little breakdown took us about an hour. No big deal. We did get a bolt put in there. It's too long, so we just used some makeshift bushings and washers and did what we had to do. Dad's found a place that has the bolt and is on his way, as soon as he helps Phil get moved, to get us the correct bolt. I would tell you that we'll change it when he gets it, but I won't, and we won't. We'll change it after the year's over, unless it breaks again. Well, we got some end rows done, and we're starting off through the middle of the field here. I cut a path. There's a woods behind us. Whatever. Anyway, I kind of opened it up here so that we can work that way, dump going that way. The trucks are up there by the building site. It makes the most sense for now. All right, updates. Dad got our new bolts, so we can change those whenever we decide we can take the time to change those. What else? So I didn't really talk about it too much, but we've had some issues with our 9R. A couple of days ago, I showed you Dad was checking it with the hood up, and he said that the coolant was low. There was a code came up for low coolant, which when it gets cold, you don't really think too much of it. It shrunk a little bit. It's not on the sensor. You top it off and you go. Well, that code kept coming back, and we got one that said it was extremely low. And so we started getting a little more concerned and trying to figure it out, and Dad topped it off, and he said he had the tank clear full, so we thought it was the sensor or something was bad. Well, then he kept driving it, and then the other night, I don't remember when, a few days ago, it stopped charging. The voltage dropped, went to 12, and then just kept going down. And so we thought our alternator went bad, but we just put a new alternator on that tractor a year ago, so we thought that something's not right there. But that was the problem. It seemed like the problem. So we called the dealer and said, hey, we think the alternator went bad. It's under warranty on that. There's like a 1-year warranty or something. And so they came out and looked at it, and there's they call it the excite wire, basically the wire that tells the alternator to turn on or engages it kind of thing, was not getting a signal from the ECU. The engine control unit controls that. We were also getting some codes about some exhaust pressure sensor faults and stuff like that. They believe we're also triggered by a faulty ECU. So they changed that yesterday. Great. Well, when we went home and started it up last night to fuel it up and move it out of the way, it still wasn't charging. And I kicked the lights on because it was dark, and the voltage dropped to 9.5. Every electrical code in the whole system came up. Not fixed. So we called them again, and they came out and actually replaced the alternator today, and that seems to have fixed it. It is charging. Meantime, they looked into the codes for the coolant, figured out that it was actually low on coolant again, and so tried to figure out why, and he started pressurizing the system and found a hose clamp that was leaking under pressure. It doesn't leak when the tractor's off, so there was no puddle forming under it, just sitting there. But when it was operating under 15 pounds of pressure, or 10 or 15 pounds of pressure, it started to leak at that point, and so that's where our antifreeze was going. So that was an easy fix as well. Just tightened up the clamp, and we should be good to go. So Dad's going to do some spraying. He's spraying corn stalks for winter annuals, some 2,4-D, and going to spray the fields that we finished just a little bit ago. And then he's going to get back in the 9R and go do some ripping, which is good. Keep that process moving. Starting to think it's Brock. He just blew a hydraulic hose on the cart now. That's twice in one day, Brock. First one I really didn't think was your fault. Now I'm not so sure now. I think it's you. I think it's you.
That wire that's sticking up right across the bend there. It's just a spout control. Keep going, just don't use it.
Which one is it? I know which spout control. What does it do? Alright, well, I didn't really film when I was up there, but there is a blown hydraulic hose. It is the hose that controls the spout in and out. The little, the spout on the end of the auger. And that is all controlled with the joystick that is not 100% necessary. It's sure a pretty nice thing to have, but it's not 100% necessary. So Brock is feeling really bad, even though he shouldn't, because what are you going to do, right? So he's like, I'll just run without it. We don't need it. We can keep going. Okay. So we're going to keep going. It is kind of a pain in the butt hose to change because it runs up the entire length of the auger. There's about 300 zip ties on it, and it's going to take a little bit of time to get it off and put back on. So if Brock wants to run without using that for right now, we're going to go ahead and do that, and maybe worry about getting a hose in the morning or something. I don't know. I really need it to rain so we can catch up on some stuff, but at the same time, I want to keep going. All right. So, a couple of things. One, I have a plot in here, kind of a strip trial, we'll call it, where I used some of those Ag Explorer products, my foliar feeds, and kind of tried to push some of this corn. There's a 40-acre block. We're about 4 passes off of it now into the non-applied section. This corn it's okay. Remember that whole thing I said about lower your expectations so you don't get disappointed? It's true. Our problem here is our stand. We have too many gaps, too much missing stuff, and it's mostly on the ridges. You drop down into this low ground up here and it's much better, but this field was planted immediately before the field that we ended up replanting corn in, and I had looked at this and thought, the stand is okay. It will be okay. It is okay. It was not worth replanting, but it has certainly knocked the top end off. That's a planting timing thing, not much I can do about it, because the corn planted before this was better stand. The corn planted after this was better. It was just the wrong day. So when I look at my map here, I mean, it's good corn. It looks like it's going to get better on this side, but anywhere we go up a little ridge and it's a little higher clay content, it's dropping off some. Now, some of you may remember this is a field. This is the field where I've told you there used to be a brick factory in this field. Literally on that ridge right there in front of the tractor, you can find old bricks because they had a factory there that made bricks because of the type of dirt that we have and the clay content of the soils here. So that's what we're dealing with on this one. You get on those knobs and it's just tight clays. And it got crusted over. Corn didn't emerge great. We have a thin stand. When you don't have plant, you can't have an ear. When you don't have an ear, you can't have good yields. But in other spots, it is good, and it's not bad by any means. Like, we're up to 188. That average is going to keep climbing until we get to do some end rows, but rounds are averaging 204 to 206, 203 to 206. Like, it's not bad. It could be better. So this field we tiled last year. Oh yeah, see us bouncing across these tile lines? Certain areas of the field are a little bit worse, but every now and then we hit one. The auger goes up and down, bounces around. It's not great on it. I don't think it's great on it, but they kind of run through here like this on an angle, and we kind of rock across them a little bit. It's just in the back half, and then there's one across the front. There was a big main that put in. That one's really settled bad, but at least it's fairly square to the rows, so we aren't rocking back and forth quite as much. This field and the one across the ditch that we also put some tile in are on the list of corn stalks that are going to get ripped. So we're going to run the 2730 ripper through here because of how rough they are, so that we don't have to fight this next year in the beans. Try and work some of that out, level it up a little bit so it's not so rough. We're catching the truck. Oh, wrong way, wrong way, wrong way, wrong way. Whoops. Pulled some off the back there because we pushed the wrong button. We're catching the truck, and so we've got a full cartload. He's going to be able to fill the next one. Phil just came back with an empty, but he's taking the full one, and we've got another full one here. So we got, that's a round and a half there, I think. We should be able to finish this, and then we're going to take a truck back and help him get caught up before we jump over to the other side too much there. Today is Tuesday, the first Tuesday in November. It is election day. Well, there's no actual seats up for election. There's several ballot issues here in Ohio and local level that I would like to go and vote. So I'm going to take this opportunity to go and do that. 64,000 according to my phone scale. He's full. Or 65. Agromatics Libra. See, that's awesome. I can, on my phone or the iPad here, pull up the scale weights and sort of see what he sees in the tractor over there. It's a heavy grain cart. All right. Well, we are done with this side of the field here, and we've got a full truck, and it's not gonna be a full cart, but close. So we're gonna run that truck back, get caught up with that. We'll come back and keep working our way across here. We're down to what? Well, we got 36 acres. We're about 60 acres in for the day, and There's got to be 40 to go here yet. 30, yeah, about 40. I don't know if we'll get there tonight or not. We're gonna try. We should. We could. Maybe. I don't know. See where the dryer's at. Is it safe to ride with you, or are you gonna break this too? 22 to 23% corn. Almost 1,000 bushel an hour, 935. Yeah, that's good. Official voter, state of Ohio. I was wrong. There were some positions, some seats available. They were all uncontested. In fact, the one position was said to vote for 2, and there was only one name in a write-in box. And on the write-in candidate sheet list, there was no names on it. So if anybody would like to be a public servant, Williams County, Ohio has some openings. But anyway, yeah, that we had a couple of state issues in Ohio here. Be interesting to see how they turn out. We've got the marijuana and abortion on the ballot. And then there was some county property tax levies and stuff. So always good to do your job and go vote. Back we go. Gonna get dark on us real fast. I would like to get the end rows in front of the woods done before it gets too dark. Ooh, that sun's a little tricky driving into it. We'll be all right. Apparently our hunters are back here tonight. I don't know if this makes them happy or mad that I'm here shelling corn, but doesn't matter. Farming comes first. Huh. Kind of planner operator error is that big spot?
Tight spot. Tight spot, Clark.
Shelling corn after dark. 7:30, we're up to 59 acres done in this field. We might get her done, although we have caught Phil again, and Brock's having to wait on trucks a fair bit. In fact, he's coming back now with a full load, almost full load. We'll have a full grain cart when he gets done with this round. But I have some end rows to do after this. Show you the map. The corn has picked up considerably. So this red spot over here, it's kind of that clay ridge I was talking about where the brick factory used to sit. We've obviously got trees along the back. There's actually a little sand ridge across here that I think is where that green stuff is. But this ground in the back is a little bit lower ground, and well, pretty good corn here. So we got to go up here and get these end rows off. There is a ditch that cuts this on an angle. We got another field over here. So we got to do end rows along there and finish these long rows up. But 60, so about 15 acres left there. I think we can get it. We should be able to get this done tonight. That's awesome. See some of our rounds here. 227, 217, 221, 231. Like, we've picked up considerably from the 203 to 206s that we had on the other side of the farm. So that is good. That makes me feel quite a bit better. Our field average is up over 200 now. This is good corn. Well, I'm not sure exactly why or what's going on here, but my auger slip clutch keeps going off. Plug the head up a little bit. I'm gonna reverse it here, which I don't really like to do because it throws a bunch of corn on the ground. Then we start it up, and you see it goes for a little ways, and then it jams. There's too much crap in it, but it doesn't look that bad. Might have to get out and look and see if there's, oh, there it's starting to go. See if there's something in there or what the deal is. Let me work on it. Let's see if we got something. Just a bunch of crap wrapped up in here. Yes, yes, shut up. I hate that feature on this combine. Not really a feature. I don't see anything like a rock that would cause us problems. At least on that end. Let's see about down here. Got a bunch of stuff wrapped around the auger there, but that's because we reversed it. That pushed everything out to the end. Try and spread it out a little bit. I don't know. I'll keep trying it. I don't see anything that would be a problem, like a rock, like I said. Yeah, apparently that did it. I don't know what I did, but I did it. Trying to get these end rows over here done. Brock just came on the radio a little bit ago. He's ready to quit on me, which, yeah, he's tired. He worked a 24-hour shift at his real job. Got off at 6 a.m. this morning before he got here at 9, so I don't blame him. That's fine. Yeah, I'd like to finish those long rows with him, but if he wants to go, he can go. It's not a big deal. So next time Phil shows up with a truck, I'll tell him just to jump in and go and park the cart, and I will do what I gotta do to finish this. All right, Brock is...
Can you need me to run the cart?
Hold on. Anyway, Phil was asking if I want him to run the cart, and I mean, he could, but it's more important that he dumps trucks, I think, right now. So anyway, Brock's taking the truck back. He's gonna quit for the night. We're down to 10 or 12 acres to go here. It won't take us too terribly long to finish this, so we're just gonna make as much of a round as we can. I can make a pass and a half probably. We're at 82%. We're right there. Yeah, we aren't gonna make a full round, but we'll get close, or close enough. We'll just drive up and dump into the cart, and it'll be fine. All right. Well, we've made 3 pass and a halves, almost rounds. Our cart is full enough to fill a truck that is sitting over there, so I'm gonna go unload the cart, and then we'll come back and keep pecking away at this. And there's another truck. Got a little oily. Yeah. All right. I think when I got out there, I could tell the air is really heavy. There's actually a fairly good dew right now. I think that's part of why that corn head is plugged up on me. Did it that one time that I showed you, and 2 other times that I didn't show you. I think the stalks are just getting wet. They're a little tough. They're not flowing through the snap and rolls quite as well, and then they start wrapping on the auger a little bit. Eventually stuff builds up. So I tried to open the deck plates up a little bit more since things are getting damp. Should help it flow through a little bit better. We slowed our ground speed down some, and seems to be working a little bit better. We've made it to the last pass in the long rows here, so this one I won't make it all the way up, but we'll have 4 partials we can clean up then, and then there's a small side over here that's got 2 around. I should be able to finish that, and then we just got the point rows over here, so we're gonna make it. There's another truck. That'll be the last one we need tonight to be able to finish this, so we're gonna get it done. We are having a monster day. Like, we're getting a ton shelled today. Biggest day of the fall so far. We'll go through the numbers when we get done, see how far we make it here. But we've moved a lot of bushels. Phil has done a tremendous job trucking. Having Brock here helped us get a lot more done. Dad got other stuff other than harvest done. Like, it's a good day. Phil's getting my grain cart emptied for me. Filling that truck there. We've reached 10 o'clock. It's late. I'm tired. I want to go home. But we got 4 acres left, and we're darn well going to finish them, especially since I got room to do so. When he gets done unloading, I will tell him that he does not need to come back, though. And then the question is, how much wet corn do we have around? This stuff is not horribly wet. I mean, we're averaging 22.6, 22.7. So it's moving through the dryer pretty quickly. Now, I assume that the wet bin has got to be getting about full, and that we need to let the dryer run overnight. So I intend to do that. There is, however, a chance of rain in the morning, and a chance of rain means we might not be shelling tomorrow, in which case we don't need to let the dryer run all night. We can run it tomorrow when we're not working. But because I don't know that it's going to rain in the morning, I'd like to at least be able to, because if we can shell good tomorrow, there's 46 acres right over across the ditch behind us to do, and 30 acres down the road that way, and then everything in this direction, the farm is behind us, is done, and literally all of the remaining corn is within a mile of the farm, kind of right in one spot. So yeah, I would like to get those two done tomorrow. We'll see if it's raining or not. We're down to a few point rows right towards the end. I'm pretty sure we can get it all in the combine. The grain cart's not quite full, but it's close. It's been a long day. It's been a really long day. Finally made it. Last rows of this field. It's not a full pass because we had to swerve around that electric pole over there. Whoa, what a day. Alright, let's go over some numbers. We got 78 acres in this field, to touch over that 205.5 average. That is good. It really picked up from where we started, so I'm thrilled with that. It's a real shame that my phone's not good enough to show you guys the stars that we have out here. Pretty incredible some nights. Orion the Hunter directly in front of us. All right, we gotta get our cart empty, but so the numbers for today. We combined 22 semi-loads of corn today. We did 101 acres. That is a really good day for one combine, 3 people essentially, and an 8-row corn head. Like, we had a fantastic day. So I appreciate Brock being here as much as he was. Big ask for him after working a full 24-hour shift at his other job up until this morning. But we would not have gotten, well, we would have gotten most of the same harvesting done, but we would not have also gotten the 100 acres of corn stalks sprayed with herbicide. We would not have gotten the 36 acres of bean stubble ripped up, the 25 acres of corn stalks dissed, all of the rest of the stuff that Dad did today done, because he would have had to be in the combine and I would have been in the cart. So overall, really, really, really good day. I don't know what we'll be able to do tomorrow. Just depends on where we're at with wet corn, what the rain does, all of that. But we are flying through harvest here and getting down towards the end of it, which if you would have asked me 2 weeks ago, I would have told you there's no way that we will be done by Thanksgiving. And now, yeah, we're probably going to be done by Thanksgiving. We're doing really, really well. So let me get this unloaded and we'll take the truck back and see what's going on at the farm and then head for home. So after a 100-acre day today, we are down to slightly more than 500 acres to go. Now, we will not have 500-acre days and be done, but it's feasible that we could be done in a week or two, week and a half at the longest, really, with decent weather. So oh man, what a day. All right, well, Phil's been drying some through the top dry. He's on like batch 10 or 11 through that, so that's good. We've got 3 lights on our wet bin. Now, it may be close to the orange light, it sounds like, but it's not on yet. So Phil is going to dump that last truck. I told him, let's let the dryer run. I will come back in a few hours and get everything shut down. If it rains tomorrow, we really don't need to run the dryer overnight tonight or late, because we can just dry corn tomorrow. But I don't know that it's going to rain, so we'll see. But anyway, thanks for watching today. We did have just a phenomenal day, and we're in the home stretch here, I would call it, of harvest. So if we can harvest tomorrow, we're going to do that field across the ditch. I have an NCGA entry there, so I got my guy lined up to come back and judge that for me. What else? I actually could use a rain day. I have lots of things to do that don't involve shelling corn. That just happens to be the priority, but I really, really need to spend some time doing some seed business stuff. But I need to talk to all my customers, or some of my customers, who are also busy harvesting, so I need it to rain so that they're not in the fields either, and we can sit down and go through some seed stuff. Also, we've got to get our grain cart fixed, right? We got to get that hose fixed. It's not something that's going to shut us down, but we got to fix it. I would also really like to get our stalk stompers fixed on the corn head. So we could use a rain delay for some maintenance issues. But anyway, thanks for watching today. Have a great night. We'll see you guys again in the morning.